Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I'd like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing.
All right, what is up, Utes fans? Huge win for Utah. We go in there. We won the conference championship in Las Vegas. Everybody, all damn week. Honestly, I made an extra video this week because I was so damn annoyed with how many people on YouTube and wherever you'd listen were acting like the Utes were like a 15, 20-point underdog. It was the most ridiculous thing I had ever heard. And it was just so, and then Darth says no more, I won't say that, but no more complaining about the refs. For real, dude. No more complaining about the refs. The refs did not let. And you know what they're gonna say. They're gonna say Caleb Williams is hurt. Sure, he was hurt. Like, so was Cam Rising, bro. So was Dalton Kincaid. Like, you just know there's gonna be more complaints. Did we get Greg? Greg gave a super chat. Thank you so much, Greg. $20 from Greg. That's awesome, man. Go Utes, baby. Cry on. Back-to-back champs, baby. If you guys are, really happy about Utah winning the Pac-12 championship, please do make sure you guys like the video. It goes a long way in helping get it out to more fans. Also, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We talk about Utah football all the damn time here. That's really all we do. And also comment in the chat, guys. That's kind of what makes this channel fun. That's my favorite part of running this show. So make sure you guys jump in the chat. We got a lot of comments coming in. You guys are hyped. I'm pretty hyped too. So I'm with you guys, but I'll try to keep up with as many as I can. Tad said, no more being treated like the redheaded stepchild. For real. It feels like, put some respect on our name. Back-to-back Pac-12 champions. And it's funny, they tried to make so many excuses for why it wasn't legit, why it was like it was like we beat them at home and we have this crazy home field advantage, which we do, but it's like, are you not recognizing that the team is an incredibly good Utah team? You're just going to blame it on the home field advantage. I mean, just, man, it felt like all week everyone came up with every excuse in the freaking book to act like we should not be, really competitive in this game. And we weren't just competitive. I mean, the score doesn't really tell the whole story, right? 47-24, pretty nuts. Huge win for Utah. I would say, though, that score was a little more, it was closer than that. It was at the end of the game, we kind of just pulled away in the garbage time. But it was awesome, man. Shout out to the defense, bro. Shout out to the defense. This is what I made a post on Twitter earlier today, and I'll see if I can find it. I posted a lot during the game, so it'll take me a minute to find it, but everyone was talking about how our defense could not keep up with this offense. And if you've been watching Utah at all for the past, however long, you would know that Utah has a really good defense lately. It's the past 5 games. It was the second half of the USC game. Oh, here's the post. It was the second half of the USC game is when we really started to take off. Let me show you guys this post. This is pretty wild. So if you take our past 7 games, so take a look. I got it on the screen here at Utah Utes Ballin'. If you guys haven't already followed, make sure you do. And this isn't even including today. This is just before the game. So you take our last 5 games since we played USC. This Utah defense took a huge jump after the USC game. In the 5 games since, Utah's defense has averaged 271.8 yards allowed per game. Michigan is the only Power 5 team in the country that has a better season-long YPG allowed than Utah's 5-game sample. So in that 5-game stretch, we're playing like one of the best defenses in the country. And just so you guys know, even on a season-long sample size, there's only one other team besides Michigan. Michigan's the only Power 5, but there's only one. And I just thought that was really cool. It was weird to me that people were acting like our defense was going to, just be have no shot against this offense. I mean, I know a lot of people are respecting this offense. I get that 100%. This offense deserves a lot of respect for USC. And they were high-powered, right? They really were. They were a powerful team, but we're a powerful team too, bro. That's kind of how I felt all the damn time lately. All week, it was like, yo, what about Utah, dude? Everyone's just talking about how Cam Rising sucks, and it was like, yo, Cam Rising really had one bad game, and you guys are acting like he's just been terrible. It's like he had one bad game and then a really good game against Colorado. And it's like, yeah, the bad game was against a really good team, and the good game was against a really bad team. Probably meet in the middle when you look at that. And speaking of Cam Rising, let's talk about him. So Cam Rising, MVP, 22 for 34, 310 passing yards, and 3 passing touchdowns. Dude, Cam just lit it up tonight, right? He dropped back. It felt like all night. I mean, yeah, obviously there were some incompletions in there when we look at that. But honestly, Cam came out there and just looked fantastic. One of the better games I've ever seen Cam play. And if you guys are anything like me right now, I'm feeling really good about the Rose Bowl. I'm feeling like Cam is going to be able to lead us into that Rose Bowl. And Tat says Cam is the man, dude. Cam is the freaking man. Flip Zero says, do you think Caleb's Heisman pose last game against Notre Dame came back to haunt him? I think that team and the media behind them for USC was just really cocky, right? I think that team was so damn cocky. It didn't make sense to me. I felt like they had obvious flaws. And if you guys watched the video I posted yesterday about common opponents, in games where we played the same opponents as USC, we had a plus 143 advantage over the same opponents, where USC had a plus 98. So the difference was we had a plus 45 advantage with common opponents between us and USC. And I was like, like they barely beat Arizona, and we mopped the floor with Arizona. You guys know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe how cocky these guys were being. Wild to me. And I think it came back to bite them. I think they were a really good team. They really were. USC was a really good team. The Pac-12 was so damn good this year. I'm sure you guys are with me in this sentiment that this one felt way better. Are you guys with me on that? Like last year's Pac-12 championship was awesome, but this one was not easy. Last year, the Pac-12 wasn't great. This year, it was like we went through a freaking gauntlet. We had a stacked squad, and we had to play a bunch of other really good teams and have a lot go our way for this to happen. Like this was, I feel like this is a bigger accomplishment this year than winning the Big Ten. The only other conference that I would say is a bigger conference championship win is the SEC. Like we really had a tough road to get here. We climbed and climbed and climbed, and then we made it, right? We made it up to the top. Pac-12 champions back to back. Up to last year, we had never won a Pac-12 championship, and then we go on to win 2 Pac-12 championships back to back, dude. So cool. And there's so many other factors like USC. They are going to the Big Ten. You didn't want them to win the championship and leave. It's just not a good look. I feel like this did a lot for the Pac-12. If you're a fan of the Pac-12, you wanted Utah to win tonight, especially to win in the dominant fashion they did as the game got to a close. Jeff says, dude, make your bed. All right. Sorry, guys, I got to do these videos in my room. We'll put Jeff on a little quick 5-minute timeout, and he keeps acting up. We'll just permanently block him. Sorry about that. I got to do these videos in my room. I have a big house to do the videos, but there's a lot of factors. A lot of the rooms are occupied. So Tyler 2K says 4 straight Pac-12 championship appearances after the COVID season. I agree 100%, right? I agree 100%. The COVID season doesn't count, and we have just been dominating the Pac-12 or at least been a really good Pac-12 team for a long time now. Tat says, shout out to Whittingham and his team of coaches. Yeah, what a great group we've got here. Flip Zero says, yeah, you basketball smoked number 4 AZ. Yeah, we did. We did beat number 4 AZ. But let's not talk about basketball, dude. This is the Utah Utes Football Digest. We talk about football, especially today, right? Especially today where we just won the Pac-12 championship. And you know what? Probably before we close out here, we'll talk about who we're probably going to play. I saw a lot of people posting it in the chat that it seems like it is going to be Penn State. And I think that assumption is based on the idea that Michigan and Ohio State would get into the college football playoff, and then we would play AZ or Penn State. Let me know if that's correct. Jackson and Glover at running back next year is going to be so good. Yeah, absolutely, dude. And don't forget, we've got some good freshmen coming in next year. Dijon Stanley is a monster. I see him post on Twitter all the time about 300+ yard rushing games for him. He's really good, dude. And then we also have Mike Mitchell, where if you haven't seen the highlights on Mike Mitchell, what an animal at running back. I mean, we are going to have the most loaded, and Chris Curry is probably back next year. We're going to have such a loaded running back room. It's going to be crazy. Like, we are going to have some supreme talent rise up out of that room. Tyler 2K says, I'm so proud of JJ and Bernard. Me too, man. Those two had a heck of a night. Just a shout out to both those guys. Let's pull up. I got Jaquindon's stats right here. So Jaquindon Jackson, 13 carries, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Obviously, a lot of those yards are from the one giant, monstrous beast mode carry that he had. He really, dude, he impressed the crap out of me on that carry. Like, that was awesome. And as you guys come into the video, please make sure you like it. It helps get it out to more Utes fans so we could all talk about the Pac-12 championship. Also, make sure you guys comment in the chat. I'd love to hear your opinions, and you guys kind of help drive the conversation. And most of all, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting out Utah Utes football content all year, so if that's what you're into, this is a place for you. Greg says, Thomas Yasmin when he totally rugby trucked that dude to get a tutty. I know. I think we all thought Yasmin was going to go down at the 10, right? Because it seemed like that guy was in really good position to tackle him. And then he just drives right through the damn guy. The guy slips off, and then he goes in for a touchdown. I mean, bro, I'm sad we're not going to get him. I guess he's out of here after this year. But I wish we were going to get some more time with Yasmin. He feels like he's just kind of coming into his own. I wouldn't even be surprised if someone was willing to put him on a practice squad in the NFL. Just he's so athletic and so big, you know, like you get a couple years with him in the system, it could be, you could really turn him into something, right? Like he's only like 3-4 years of playing football right now. Imagine a couple more years under that, what he could be. Really impressive guy. Tat says Tavion wasn't missed at all. Yeah, I'm not going to disparage Tavion, but like I said, going into this game, I wasn't concerned that Tavion wasn't there. I thought, if anything, Tavion this year had been a distraction, right? It felt like we weren't able to figure out the running back room because Tavion was taking up so much of the time, right? It was like he had so much going on off the field, you know, and whatever he's got going on, I don't know the details, but it's like it was taking away from the program. I think that's kind of how that all panned out in the end. That's why he was not there tonight. Flip Zero says Yasmin is a stud, explosive plays last few games. Not just the last few games. I mean, you look back, basically it's like all season, ever since Keithy went down, he's had explosive plays. Like he's a really good player. DJ and Tay says Penn State is the next Big Ten team. There's a scenario where the Rose Bowl takes Tennessee as they're the next highest ranked team left. Really? I wasn't Tennessee. I thought the Rose Bowl had to be between Pac-12 and Big Ten. Tennessee's SEC. Let me know if you guys have any more info on that. Let me know. All right. Elmar says Gabe Reed, RJ Hubert, Samodi Peppa, and JJ were amazing tonight. I was very impressed with those four tonight. So I'll touch on that. Gabe Reed, bunch of big plays, dude. Gabe Reed was on fire. I agree, dude. Like, we don't have the defensive stats yet. I don't think. Let's see if ESPN has them. I noticed that ESPN will put up the defensive stats earlier than like Google will. Let's see here. All right. Okay, defensive stats. Oh, no, we have the defensive stats. Let's put them on the screen, dude. Let's put the defensive stats on the screen. Bam. All right, we got the defensive stats on the screen here. My boy Cole Bishop with the 7 solo tackles. Really good night for Cole Bishop. 9 total, so 4 assisted tackles there. RJ Hubert. So RJ Hubert, I'll touch on that a little bit. He had some huge plays, right? That interception he had was a really big one. He had some game-changing plays. He also had some really bad plays, quite a few of them. I wouldn't say this was a great night for him overall. Like, you know, those early, like the first quarter plays where guys were wide open, a couple of those were on Hubert. And I'm not going to stress too much. I would say it was like a decent game for him. He had really high highs and really low lows. I think Hubert also made a tackle for a loss at one point, which was really cool. But we don't always notice the bad plays by defense. And he did have some bad ones. Not to feel like he didn't have a good game, but I think to not address those at all is doing it a disservice. Justin says Sione Vaki is a beast. Bro, I posted about Sione Vaki today. During the game, 6 total tackles, 3 solos, 1 TFL. Yeah, I think Sione Vaki for me, as we do head into the offseason here in a couple months, he's going to be right at the top of the list for like guys that I'm hoping are going to be really good next year. And I feel really good that Sione Vaki will be really good next year. Big time playmaker, beast, right? Just a guy that really gets the job done. I really like Sione Vaki. Solid in coverage, very good against the run.
Say cheese.
So really good player. All right. Let's keep going on the list here.
I might delete these later.
Might as well look at everyone's stats, not just defense. Let's talk about Money Parks too, dude. Money Parks, 4 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown with the 57-yard
the middle to the 15-yard line,
breaking a tackle at the 10, spinning toward the goal line,
touchdown. Mekhi Bernard,
that was on 3rd and 19.
On the cake. Utah,
you're just kind of hoping we get in field goal range after that play. I mean, if we could get a first down, it'd be awesome. But you're just hoping we get in field goal range after that play. And that guy just breaks the one tackle and just turns it upfield and books it for a touchdown. Oh, are there highlights?
Hey guys,
thanks for letting me know. Dude. That's good. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't aware of that. So good thing you let me know there. Is it good now? They should be muted, right? Is it better now? Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Let me know if you're having any issues there. If you guys still can't hear me. All right, so
make this cheesiest chain look good.
Jalen Dixon also had a good game. 6 receptions, 55 yards. Okay, you guys are saying all
college
good.
Football
okay,
playoff.
Great.
20 to go and counting in the fourth.
All right, so
Rising,
6
fakes the
receptions,
pitch, rolls
55
left,
yards.
throws
Mekhi
sideline,
Bernard
caught out of the
is a
USC
threat
40,
in
missed
both
tackle.
the receiving
Yasmin down the
and
sideline,
running
20 to the 10, breaks
5
another tackle,
receptions for
and is into the
41
end zone,
yards.
touchdown.
Running the ball, 11 carries,
The
88 yards, 1
Australian
touchdown.
tight end Thomas
Just a
Yasmin,
beast, bro. And
who
he's
run
averaging
game,
8
and then
yards
it's
a
the
carry
play
and
action
as long
pass,
as
and it's
23.
a two-man
that means
route.
he's just
Both tight
every
ends.
carry
Kincaid was
good,
going to the flat.
And I felt like what
Thomas
impressed me the most
Yasmin
about
was going to
JJ
the corner,
is there
and
weren't
that
a lot
ball
of
got there on
like
top.
huge plays available for him. Oh my god. All right, let's just close it. I guess we keep having these damn ads. All right, so I closed it. So don't even worry. I'll have it on in the other screen and I'll just tell you guys the stats. All right, sorry about that, guys. Are we good now? I keep seeing it's gone. Okay. Daxton posted ad 50 times. All right, I think we're good now. All right, so I closed it out. It's good. Well, I just paused it and then it was going again. All right, so sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, Mekhi Bernard, really good night for him, man. I thought he was really impressive. And kind of the unsung hero of the game is going to be Dalton Kincaid, right? Dalton Kincaid just deserves a lot of praise because as much as his stats aren't crazy, right? I'm just going to put his name up on the screen here. His stats are not crazy for Dalton. They're not going to wow you. I think it's 4 catches for 40 yards, so like decent game, but nothing crazy. With Dalton, the most impressive thing with him is that they focused on him, right? Tyler says Kincaid is a warrior. He was clearly not healthy. Time for celebration. Absolutely, dude. But Kincaid was the focus, right? Kincaid destroyed these guys last time. You got to imagine that at practice, they were just drilling like, hey, we got to stop Kincaid. We got to stop Kincaid. We got to shut him down. We got to shut him down. Like if we shut down Kincaid, we got him, right? Because he went for 234 yards on them last time. So he must have been their number one focus on offense. That and trying to contain Cam Rising, it felt clear that those were their focuses. And they actually did a good job limiting Kincaid. And for Kincaid to still have 40 yards is impressive, but it's like that Kincaid is the reason why so many other people did so well, right? Because they just focused on him. They tried to lock him down, and they couldn't, right? Like he was able to do a little bit, and they limited him for sure, but other people were making tons of plays. We ran the ball really well tonight. I was pretty impressed. Justin says Cam got smacked. He did get smacked, bro. That was a violent hit, huh? Sherbet says, yeah, heck of a blow. Okay, so DJ and Tay, thanks for sending me this article. I got it pulled up here. Let's take a look. So these are some different scenarios of what could happen in the Pac-12 or what could happen in the Rose Bowl. Where is it? Let's see here. Okay, so on Tuesday during the reveal show for the updated college football top 25, Penn State was a viable candidate for the Rose Bowl, with Ohio State perhaps not being in Pasadena, sent to Pasadena for a second straight season. Well, that's weird that they say that. That Ohio State. Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Let's see here. Boom. Okay. It doesn't. Am I missing it? It doesn't look like they're saying Tennessee would be in the Rose Bowl. I don't think Tennessee could go to the Rose Bowl. I think they're saying Tennessee for the Sugar Bowl, right? Anyways, DJ and Tay, let me know if you have any more info on that. But I'm excited about the Rose Bowl now, dude. We're seeing roses for sure. Should be awesome. DJ and Tay says read after up next. Okay, I will in a minute. Boom. Is Nate Ritchie the guy next year? I'm not sure. I don't know enough about Nate Ritchie to say anything. Jimmy says Jimmy, good to have you here, man. Thanks for tuning in. They had 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss. We had 7 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. Yeah, that is a good defensive stat line, dude. It'll be a fun little topic, guys. Who? Oh. All right. Who is the unsung hero of the game, guys? That's going to be the question. Who is the unsung hero of the game? So why don't you guys drop it in the comment? Anyone I haven't mentioned or anyone I did mention that I didn't focus on a lot, who do you guys think was a real big player in this game? Dakota says our D-line. Yeah, for sure, dude. That the D-line definitely stepped it up, looked really good today. I was definitely impressed with them. Boom. Omar says O-line. Yeah, O-line, honestly, O-line impressed the crap out of me. Like when I said earlier that we ran the ball well, I meant more than anything is we were run blocking well. I remember our first snap. I think it was the first play. It was like a 7-yard run by Mekhi Bernard or something like that. But it was we threw them back, man. It was like 5-10 yards from the line of scrimmage was their front 7. And over time, it just got worse and worse on a consistent basis. Like you could tell they had like a really athletic team and they could be tough for a quarter or two. It was kind of like the same thing that happened in the first game. They could play really tough for like a quarter or two, but then it would slowly just fade off after that. Like it would just like they just couldn't keep doing it. They weren't a team that was made and concentrated on playing tough football. It's what they wanted to do to beat us, but they can't do it at the same level as us. All right. Well, all right, I just blocked the Locked On Ducks guy, so don't be bothering us anymore. Tat says Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop has been, a solid player all damn year. He's been a good player. I think we all had really high expectations for Cole Bishop this year, but don't forget Cole Bishop's I think a true sophomore or redshirt sophomore this year. So next year Cole Bishop could come out and be an even more impressive player than he was this year. Looks like a really, really formidable player that should be a staple in this defense next year as well. Omar said Keaton Bills specifically. Yeah, there was on the huge run by Jaquindon Jackson. Keaton Bills was the pulling guard that laid the block and got it done. He had a good game. I noticed him quite a bit. Remember that fumble? I think by Mekhi Bernard, and Keaton Bills dove on it right away. And if he doesn't do that, it's a turnover. I mean, this defense was out for blood when it comes to turnovers. They were punching the ball on every tackle. You could tell that was their goal when they tackled, was to get the ball out. It wasn't just to get the tackle. They were trying to strip the ball. Tyler says Reddy making a field goal. Just kidding. But honestly, yeah, I was pretty damn happy when Reddy made the field goal too. Wasn't happy when he missed the extra point though. That was a little annoying. I know we did get moved back a little, but that was like a 15, 20-yard field goal, something like that. It should have made it for sure. So, DJ and Tay said it's likely Penn State, but it's possible they go elsewhere. Ohio State said they weren't interested in Rose Bowl again if they didn't get into the playoff. It just seems so weird to me. Like, what a privileged. Like, I feel like that's one of their problems, why they're not winning these tough games against really good competition for Ohio State. It's like they feel entitled. You know what I mean? And I think Ohio State needs to figure out some of that stuff if they want to. Like, they just got beat 2 years in a row by Michigan. It's not a good look. Michigan's really outside of like a couple other. There's Penn State, Iowa sometimes. There's a couple other good teams, but Michigan and Ohio State are the only two really good teams in the Big Ten. And Michigan beating you back-to-back years, and you're kind of acting like a little, priss. You know, take it back a step and take the opportunities that are given to you. Sure Bet says O-line with running backs. Who's Tavion anyway? Yep, that's true. Who is Tavion anyway? KCU, Dixon has also shined in big moments. Dixon did a great job outside of that one fumble, which was horrific. It was a nightmare for a minute. I remember just being like, oh, because that offense for USC at that moment had a lot of momentum, and our offense didn't have a lot of momentum. And when he fumbled, I was stressed, dude. I was like, no. But outside of that, really good game. Dixon's been a guy I've been cheering on all season. I think this is Dixon's last year. I think he doesn't have any more eligibility, but you guys let me know if I'm wrong about that. David says back-to-back Ducky Boy, referring to the Locked On Ducks guy. It is back-to-back, dude. How could you not be happy? Back-to-back Pac-12 champs. And if you guys are really happy we just won back-to-back Pac-12 champs, please do make sure you guys like the video. It goes a long way in helping get it out to more Utes fans. Comment in the chat, guys. Let's have some fun. I got the question up on the screen here. Who is the unsung hero of the game? Who do you guys think in this game could be that we haven't talked about, really did a good job? I want to hear some cool ones. And we're going to keep the conversation going, guys. Let me know where you want the conversation to go, right? I like you guys to drive the conversation a little bit, and I just want to kind of do what you guys want to talk about. It's really what these live streams are about. Jimmy Emerson says Diabate. Yeah, good one, dude. Diabate has been slowly but surely like getting better every game, and I feel like as a guy that doubted Diabate a lot at the beginning, before the season, really cool to see. Like, he definitely made some plays today and looked good. It feels like I feel like Utah was a really good place for him to wind up. It feels like he became a much smarter player by the end of the year than he was at the beginning. He really did. Boom. See. Brian says, congratulations, Utah. Thank you for beating USC from a UCLA fan. Hey, well, you are welcome, man. First cordial UCLA fan I've met. I remember when UCLA beat us, I had some hate on my videos. I was shocked. There was not a word from any UCLA fan before the videos, but after the game, it was like they came in hard, dude. It was like that next morning, just flooded with comments. Tyler says, Brian, you killed us this season. You guys should be proud. You're referring to UCLA. Yeah, UCLA looked like a special team for a minute there. They just choked in a couple big games, right? A couple tough ones. Boom. DJ and Tay says kickoffs for touchbacks was big. That was big, right? Like, that sounds simple, but it was something we struggled with so much. I remember earlier in the year, so many 40-yard kick returns. It was just ridiculous. So, it is. Tat says, who are these people? I'm not sure. Well, welcome in either way, whether we know who you are or we don't. It's good to have everybody here. We won the Pac-12 championship. We're all getting together, having fun, enjoying the night. Boom. David said, where did Ohio State say that? I grew up in Ohio, and that was the game. Yeah, David, I think the thing is, as much as that used to be the game, right? As the college football playoff has become more prevalent and like the thing, if you're a perennial CFP contender, you can see why that would be a conflict, right? I don't agree with it, but it's just true. It's kind of like you feel like you're one of the best teams in the country. So you're kind of like, if we don't get into the CFP, A bunch of our players are going to declare for the draft. We already know that. And so we're not going to take any other bowl bids. I think it's dumb. I mean, how different do you think this game is, honestly, if Caleb Williams doesn't get hurt? It's tough to tell, dude. I think it's a little closer, right? I think it's a little more of a shootout if Caleb Williams doesn't get hurt. But, yeah, I don't know how much closer. Maybe it's like a 7-point game. I projected this game to be 34-31. In the actual competitive parts of the game, that was pretty spot on. It was pretty close, right, guys? That was pretty close. Oh, Tyler says, hey, did you see Deion Sanders accepted the job at Colorado? Yeah, that is exciting for the Pac-12, huh? Another, high-end coach coming in, gonna come out there and try to get Colorado better. That should be a lot of fun. I feel like Prime would be a fun guy to have in the Pac-12. That is crazy for recruiting. Yeah, for sure, dude. You got to worry. I mean, Prime made an HBCU really competitive. Like they're not going to beat most of like the top D1 teams or FBS teams, but they're definitely like right up there with any FCS team, and he did it pretty quickly. It would have been nice to see UCLA versus Utah for the Pac-12 championship. Yeah, I wanted that rematch bad. I wanted that one bad. I felt like maybe it was just, the matchup, like our styles or your guys' ability to run the ball just hurt us. And it was at a time where we were really struggling to run the ball or to stop teams from running the ball. And I think it was just a bad time for us to play you guys. I feel like now it'd be a little different. Charbonnet is still a monster. I think DTR was a little overhyped all year. He's very good, but he's not elite like a lot of people are making him out to be, where Charbonnet was underhyped. It felt like Charbonnet was kind of living in DTR's shadow, where Charbonnet, for a lot of it, was the reason you guys were so good. He's a really special running back, and I think he will be, at least relative for a running back, a high draft pick. He definitely doesn't drop far into day 3. I see him as a day 2 pick. Robert Hull. Blake says, as a lifelong Buckeye fan who currently attends the U, this is a great night. Yeah, great night, man. Well, hey, good to have you. I'd love to play the Buckeyes in the Rose Bowl. How fun would that be, huh? To win the conference championship, go back to the Rose Bowl, and get another shot at Ohio State. That'd be cool. I'd be excited about that. All right. Justin says, absolutely huge for recruiting, especially if we win the Rose Bowl. Oh, yeah, man. This is a big one. This is a big one for sure. I think it's just so obvious that it's like, if you want to like go be a part of a high flashy offense, like if you're a high end player, so this is kind of how Utah is, right? So if you're a really high end player, maybe some other programs are better for you, right? Because they're going to base their offensive identity or defensive identity around what you do if you're that good, right? But Utah, if you're like a 3-star player, like a guy that's probably not going to start right away and no one's going to base an offense around you, like you're a good player, but they're going to want you initially as depth until you grow into your role. It's like we should be able to beat out any team in the country for that type of stuff. Like you see how well we develop players at Utah. It's like, why would you go anywhere else? Like if we're up against anyone, like we just beat the greatest team money could buy, a team that was just flooded with NIL money and like tools for recruiting. Like literally in the contract, I guess, with Lincoln Riley, part of it was that he got a private jet and was able to fly around as much as he wanted to go find these recruits. Like it was like they got as many advantages as they possibly could with NIL, and they couldn't stop us. Did Deion take the job? I do believe Deion took the job. Yeah, it's not official yet, but it does look like he's going to take it. Daxon said, did we mention Gabe Reed? We have mentioned Gabe Reed, dude. Gabe Reed has killed it all damn season. I think Gabe Reed, we could spend a second just talking about Gabe Reed. Let me pull him up here. Gabe Reed is really been a good player for the Utes. I remember when he transferred over to us from Stanford, and I made a little video just talking about it. I was excited about him, right? I was like, okay, this is a solid player. This is probably a starter because, you know, you looked at his like PFF grades from before. He looked like he was gonna be good, and this was in the Pac-12, right? And they were already good grades, so pretty cool that he was already doing that, and he wanted to come to a winning program. So let's talk about his stats this year. So I don't know if this includes tonight or not. 34 total tackles, 20 solo, 14 assists, 3.5 sacks, 1 pass defended. So the numbers aren't crazy, right? For Gabe Reed, they're not wild numbers. But if you guys are watching the games, you know he's one of the most dependable guys on the field at all times, right? He's always getting back there, holding the edge really well. Even though he's not getting a ton of sacks, he gets a lot of pressures. Like his pass rush grade has always been good. Tess is the fans are the heroes. Yeah, we're all the heroes, dude. I feel like that's one of the coolest things about being a Utah fan is you feel like we play a role. Does that make sense, guys? It's kind of like, yo, we're one of the reasons Utah does such a good job because we're so passionate. You know, what a turnout we had in Vegas, huh? Like, just wild how many Utes fans were there just going nuts. I wish I could have been there. Funny enough, I literally got back from my trip today, and I go right to Vegas tomorrow for my friend's wedding. But it could have worked out better to where I could have been there earlier. This is not how it worked, though. Surebet says Pac-12, good competition. I enjoyed this season much. Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot too, man. This is a fun season. It felt like I feel like winning the Pac-12 championship this year, we got in to the Pac-12 championship a little differently, right? Almost made it a little more exciting, but we got in a little differently. But for me, the biggest thing is like the Pac-12 was so good this year. Like there was a good 6, at least 5, like very good teams, right? Utah, UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon. And then, yeah, you got to say 6 because Oregon State's really damn good too, right? Oregon State was really damn good as well. So I think this means a lot, right? This means a lot that we were able to get this done and in a dominant fashion. Like that was pretty cool. All right, and then boom. Omar says O'Toole was a beast tonight. He was, dude. You know, there was that one play where the running back tried to book it to the edge. It was towards the end of the game where the running back tried to book it to the edge, and he just kept his discipline and his gap discipline so well. He just sprinted to the edge and would not let that guy get outside of him, which is so important as the edge rusher because as soon as that guy tries to cut inside, guess who's there to meet him? The linebacker. That's what you're supposed to do. A lot of football isn't about just making plays and being flashy. You got to make the plays when the plays are there, but it's like a lot of it is discipline. Like if we had better discipline throughout the whole game, we'd probably win this game by a lot more. CKS says Jaquinda Jackson has become a star. He was our number 3 quarterback turned running back. And, you know, I love that you brought that up. I remember when we first turned him to a running back, people were so hyped about it. They were like, oh, he's about to be a straight monster. Like, he's so athletic. And I was like, well, let's pump the brakes. Who knows how much this guy's going to fumble. Like, it's going to take a minute for him to become a good running back. I was absolutely wrong. He has a natural talent at running back and is a super high-end athlete and just knows how to get the job done, dude. He impressed me a lot this year. I've been a big fan of Jaquinda Jackson. Last week and this week were big moments for me watching him where I was like, okay, he's the real deal. And they weren't they saying like Jaquinda Jackson's like a redshirt freshman? Like, dude, he could be a star running back in the making. And before we move to the next question, please do make sure you guys like the video. It'll help get it out to more Utes fans, help us celebrate the Pac-12 championship with a bigger crew. Also, make sure you guys comment in the chat. I'm just going to kind of go through the rest of you guys' questions for a few more minutes here before we get out. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk Utah Utes football all the damn time. That's what we do. that's about it. So if you enjoy that, you should enjoy the channel. KCU says also Ducks calling us lucky is hilarious considering they made the championship game in 2020 off Washington getting COVID. Remember that, Ducks? You didn't even qualify. Yeah, it's even more ridiculous than how we made it, huh? Boom. All right. KS says awesome to see how physical Vaki is. Yeah, we talked about Vaki a couple times tonight. He's a really good player, dude. Vaki's a beast. I'm excited to see how he grows. Villasoni says the U made it happen. Stop the QB most of the time. Was awesome, and that is the biggest contributor to come out a winner. Yeah, for sure, dude. I think we contained him pretty well tonight. I mean, he was a little injured, and who knows how much that hurt his mobility, but could be still impressed that we were able to get it done. It's still cool whether it was easier this time around than last time or not. Oh, did you guys see this? He painted his nails. Have you guys been watching that? So Caleb Williams paints his nails every game. It says like F USC or F UCLA or F Utah. And you guys got to see this. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. This was an edit from the official Twitter page. I think that's who it was from. Yeah, dude. Check this out. So this is from the official Twitter page for Utah football. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Somebody edited how he paints his nails. And instead of saying F Utah or whatever, it says back to back. Dude, that's so damn funny. And it's so good. Like, bro, what is up with you painting your nails to say F the other team? Like, why don't you just not paint your nails, bro? Like, like what's the point of that? All right, I'm going to try to get up with the more recent comments. Brock says, congrats, Utah. As a Bama fan, y'all dominated. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for the kind words. Tyler says, Joseph, please go find the post-game interview with Cam and JJ. I saw Cam's post-game interview, but I hopped on to get this started before JJ's, but I'll have to watch it. Everyone seems to be excited about JJ at running back, huh? I'm with you guys. I really like JJ at running back, too. Oh, man, dude. I'm so excited for the offseason. Honestly, I'm like excited about the bowl game. Like, I'm really excited because it'll make it an even bigger offseason, but I'm pretty hyped about this offseason. I feel like this is going to be a big recruiting offseason for Utah. It'll be a fun opportunity for us to pull in some big recruits, right? And the cool thing is we're going to the Rose Bowl, and for this team, the Rose Bowl is a really big deal, right? It sounds like for Ohio State, it's not, right? But for us, it's a really big deal, and I don't think the players are going to opt out. Especially Cam. I think Cam still has more to prove. Like, that was a really good game. Like, I'm not saying Cam has a ton to prove still, but, you know, I feel like tonight helped his draft stock a lot. But another really big bowl game, or, you know, a big bowl game to follow up on the big conference championship game would make it, you know, just that much more icing on the cake, that much better. All right, guys. Yeah, you like the picture, David? All right, guys, it's been real. I'm sorry I can't go for longer. I just got back for being out of town for a week. That's why I've been making all those videos on my phone the past 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys noticed that. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. If you haven't already liked the video, comment below, guys, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I am out of here. I hope you guys have a great night. Go Utes, and I'll be back soon, people.